Ellen DeGeneres is suddenly being pulled into another wave of Epstein-related rumors, and this time the story has taken an even stranger turn. Ricky Gervais has also been dragged into the conversation, with online claims suggesting Ellen had some connection to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. But before we go further, remember that these are online allegations, not established facts. Still, the claims have spread quickly, raising questions about why Ellen's name keeps appearing in these discussions.
Obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
According to rumors circulating online, Ghislaine Maxwell has allegedly been in a position to reveal information about powerful people while behind bars. One of the names being pushed into those claims is Ellen DeGeneres, with some posts alleging Maxwell exposed Ellen's supposed connection to Epstein. There is no verified evidence presented here proving that Maxwell made such an accusation, but once the claim started spreading, people began looking for anything that could support it.
The answer is she didn't say anything. And so she, essentially what we call took the fifth, which means she expressed her right to remain silent. For the Fifth Amendment allows you to not, you don't have to answer if it could potentially be self-incriminating. And so she exercised that right. And it happens all the time when someone's in a sticky situation, and especially if it could be self-incriminating and making her case even worse. So what you would rather do is cut a deal with the prosecutor and say, okay, I'll tell you whatever you want, and I'll be super honest, even if it's information that could make me look worse, but I'll give you some other people. And that way, it's just a bit of horse trading. The time to do that is before the trial, when you still have some leverage. She could have given some information that would have led to some other indictments. But now, after 3 million pages plus of the so-called Epstein files, there's not really anything in there that's indictable. And that's why they didn't want to release the files in the first place, both parties that were in control. And so, I'm not sure there's a lot of bargaining power now. Now, if there is something that she can tell the prosecutors or the courts that does lead to some other indictments, then okay, that's fine. But right now it appears that all she has is information that will vindicate or totally clear the president.
Now things get even more dramatic. Some online sources have claimed Ellen's name appears more than 100 times in the Epstein files. Those claims have been repeated across social media, sometimes alongside much stronger accusations about Ellen and Hollywood. But simply appearing in a document would not prove criminal involvement. Even so, the claims sent people searching through old footage, documents, and celebrity connections for possible clues.
To Epstein Island and 8 people. And they do that. They eat babies. That is not It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I
Viral claims suggested Ellen appeared in Epstein-related material because of supposedly disturbing connections. People began investigating the claim themselves, and that search quickly led into the infamous internet controversy surrounding pizza and alleged coded language. For years, conspiracy communities have claimed that certain words and phrases were secret codes used by powerful people. Those theories have been repeatedly disputed, but that hasn't stopped people from examining old emails, photographs, and celebrity moments. And Ellen's name eventually became part of that conversation.
Pizza. Send pizza to Bobby. What does a gynecologist and a pizza boy have in common? They can smell it, but they can't eat it. May I bring in your slice of pizza to you? Pizza party was great. We had a lot of fun, stayed late. We all slept in yesterday morning. Your night was good? Also up there, spoof on Chandelier, the video I sent you with the amazing little girl dance. If you take a look at the recent emails released by the DOJ/FBI dealing with Jeffrey Epstein, a lot of people have been pointing out that there are hundreds of messages that reference pizza. And some of these messages just don't really make sense. For example, right here you can see in 2016 an email was sent to Epstein, subject the pizza monster. Jeffrey wrote, "She looks pregnant," and the person responded, "We don't know who that was. You mean radiating a soft glow with a look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza. So, what that means, we still don't know. There are also a few references in these emails to pizza and grape soda. As you can see here, Harry Fish writes to Jeffrey Epstein in 2018, "What time do you want to get pizza and grape soda tomorrow?" In a different thread of messages, this same guy sends Epstein a photograph of a slice of pizza with a bottle of grape soda. And he references this again. First we get a slice of pizza with grape soda, then the Pop-Tart. In a different message chain, he messages Epstein again and says, "Pizza and grape soda, enough said." And then on a different date, I don't know if this is the same Harry guy sending this to Epstein, but an email is sent to Epstein that states, "This is better than a Chinese cookie, see attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. Go no." You can see there are so many messages referencing pizza. A lot of people think that this is obviously code speak. I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza today. Thank you for letting us do that. And then there's a disturbing headline on these emails between Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, and Jeffrey Epstein, where the subject is slicing a pizza. Obviously, that's kind of morbid sounding. There are also a chain of messages that seem to show Epstein sending someone to get an actual mold made of their butt cheeks so that he can make pizza. I mean, just pause these messages and read them for yourself. They're literally trying to make, as they say here, a butt pizza mold. This girl, I'm assuming, is a victim and is being sent here to get a mold made of her behind so that Epstein or others can make pizza in the shape of her ass. It's just so shocking and disturbing.
Critics online began revisiting old moments involving Ellen and pizza, including jokes and casual references that once seemed completely harmless. Then people started looking beyond the pizza itself. They examined Ellen's talk show set, pointing to artwork, furniture, symbols, and background details they claimed looked similar to imagery associated with Epstein's island and elite social circles. None of that proves a connection, but for conspiracy communities, every strange coincidence became another piece of the larger theory.
Ellen DeGeneres' set on her show was the same set as the Epstein Island. Bro, check it. Bro, check it. Bro. Look at it. Bro, what was going on? Bro, it's crazy, bro.
So is Moana taking place on Epstein Island?
Bro, I don't know.
What's Sebastian and Ariel on Epstein Island?
When you get a moment, go online and look at her set and look at the temple in the Epstein Island. They look the same. Oprah's name's outside now.
Yeah, but
about some school in Africa. Ellen DeGeneres just moved to England last year, and apparently she's escaped because started popping off. And
she moved because she said if he wins the electoral vote to become president again, she's bouncing.
Yeah, but why?
Well,
that's what I'm trying to say.
They had a little back and forth because she was very anti him, and he don't play. You mentioned the name of her bad light, he's going straight.
Yeah, but you've got money. Why are you ducking? Why are you ducking?
Because we have bangers and mash, they don't.
Because there's fire.
What made the speculation spread even faster was the timing. Ellen's public image was already facing a major challenge for an entirely different reason. For years, she had been presented as the friendly, funny, positive queen of daytime television. But allegations from former employees painted a very different picture of the workplace behind the scenes.
TV producer is speaking out on camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says, despite Ellen's Queen of Nice reputation, it became clear early on that it would not be a pleasant place to work. One incident with executive producer Ed Glavin left her shaken.
We were in our production meetings and she would watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed and she would laugh because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog. So therefore she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing as a host. But as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see in front of the camera.
Do you think anything will change?
No, because she should have apologized 16 years ago. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office.
Multiple former staffers described what they called a toxic workplace culture, with allegations involving bullying, fear, favoritism, and mistreatment. Those accusations caused many people to question whether Ellen's public persona told the entire story. Online, however, separate controversies soon became connected. The workplace allegations, old clips, celebrity interactions, and Epstein-related theories were increasingly presented as one giant narrative. But it's important to remember that workplace allegations do not prove conspiracy theories or criminal involvement.
She's a CIA agent. Stephen Paddock. And do not ask me for sources. But Stephen Paddock.
Who's that?
He was the guy that shot up the Vegas concert. That was a very tragic thing. Listen to this. The only guy that saw Stephen Paddock alive, his name is Jesus Campos. He was a guard at Mandalay Bay. He got interviewed nowhere else. You know where he got interviewed? In the beginning? Ellen.
Really?
Weird. And then they went on, if you could find that clip, they went on with a weird diagram of how it happened, and Ellen's showing the people how it happened. Not like an emotional, how are you feeling, how are you holding up? It was a weird diagram of and then he went to the left and to the right. It was very strange to, look, what the hell's going on? This is a daytime show.
Which is the Paddock guy? And there's two guys there?
The chubbier guy is the Jesus guy. And now Ellen is doing a thing of how the shooting happened.
Look how she's got an antenna from someone's Buick that she's popped off and she's using it as a pointer.
But why the hell is this happening on a daytime show where this is weird?
Where'd she get that pointer?
I don't know. She stole it off an intern's car.
Why wouldn't you just use your finger? If that was you, if it was your show, the Tim Dillon show, wouldn't you just point?
Yeah.
This is also a giant screen behind her, so they could have just put it on that screen.
So, but she's using this thing. I find it very strange. I don't know why.
Wait a minute, those aren't real palm trees?
No.
Yeah, it's not real. I know that street though. I know that block in Beverly Hills that she used.
How weird is that?
I don't know why they're doing this on a daytime talk show.
Let's keep it running. Look at it. She's dressed like Colonel Sanders. Not Colonel Sanders. She's dressed like Sergeant Pepper.
This guy looks like a member of her staff.
What kind of outfit is she wearing?
I don't know. She wears those weird militant lesbian
that should tell you
uniform.
Something.
Yeah.
That's an odd look with all those buttons. Why do you have so many wrist buttons?
It was given to her in Langley.
The only reason why you have that many wrist buttons if you're looking to clothesline somebody.
Yeah, look at her. Look at her. Everyone says she looks so friendly. She looks friendly.
She does look very military.
Yeah, she's a militant woman.
With a very expensive watch.
She dealt with a lot of discrimination when she came out. It was very sad, but then she joined the CIA.
Her house got broken into while she was at home.
Really?
Yeah. She got a dope place in Montecito.
And they broke in while she was there.
Yeah.
And those people are still being tortured to this day.
Probably.
They're still in an underground jail.
Yeah, she's feeding them to her staff.
She's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. She goes, you did good.
Is that the guy, the survivor?
He's the guy who met Paddock.
She's holding on to him. It's odd.
Yeah.
She's allowed to do that because she's a woman, but if that was a man holding onto a woman's arm that long.
More recently, attention has shifted back to Ghislaine Maxwell. Online posts have claimed that Maxwell received unusual privileges while incarcerated, including customized meals, special access, and even a therapy dog. A whistleblower reportedly raised concerns with Representative Jamie Raskin, claiming Maxwell was receiving treatment that differed from other prisoners and was preparing a request related to her sentence. Those allegations attracted attention because Maxwell remains one of the few people at the center of Epstein's inner circle who could potentially know more about powerful figures.
Top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, the Jeffrey Epstein accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, is getting special treatment in prison and actively preparing a commutation application. In a letter from Congressman Jamie Raskin addressed directly to President Trump, Raskin says the whistleblower at Maxwell's new prison camp alleges that her extraordinary treatment includes customized meals delivered directly to her, visits to the prison exercise area after hours with a prison guard escort, and even access to a service dog in training to play with. This whistleblower also claims that one top prison official complained that he is, quote, sick of having to be Maxwell's B-word. I'll note that CNN has not independently verified the whistleblower's claims, but my source on this tonight is Congressman Jamie Raskin. And Congressman, on this whistleblower, I think a lot of people want to know what else they had to say to you.
Well, the whistleblower made clear that Ghislaine Maxwell is just in a completely different category than every other prisoner. She gets essentially room service, behind bars. She can use the shower, she can use the gym whenever she wants to. She gets special treatment there, and unlike other prisoners who have to communicate with people outside of the prison through the unreliable and very slow mail system, she's actually getting messages sent through the warden to the people that she wants to communicate with, and the warden is actually offering her the opportunity to communicate on legal matters with people outside of the prison through the warden. So it's a pretty extraordinary situation. Of course, her presence in that camp facility itself is completely astonishing, given that they had never had a sex offender before, and sex offenders were not allowed in that camp, but she was allowed in, and she got in pretty much on an overnight basis after she met with Todd Blanche. She was subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee on July 23rd after a vote on July 22nd, and it was on July 24th that Todd Blanche, who had been Donald Trump's personal criminal defense lawyer, now working for the DOJ as the #2 person, went over to meet her, not in order to find out what she knew in terms of getting other people to be investigated who were involved in the $1.5 billion international child ring.
Maxwell's decision to remain largely silent during a congressional investigation only created more questions. She had previously spoken with the Department of Justice, but during her congressional deposition, Maxwell repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment and refused to answer questions about her relationship with Epstein.
Were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth.
Maxwell has a constitutional right to invoke the Fifth Amendment if answering could incriminate her. Still, her silence left people wondering whether she was simply protecting herself or whether there was something more behind her refusal to answer. There is no verified evidence proving that she was protecting anyone else, but the uncertainty continues to fuel speculation.
It gives me like the heebie-jeebies. I want to talk a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell's connection to Russia, Vladimir Putin, Ivanka Trump, and the Murdoch family via the woman that she is posing with in this photo. The woman in this photo is named Dasha Zhukova, and actually a few months back, we dove into who these women's parents are. Dasha's father is a man named Alexander Zhukov, and if I'm mispronouncing these last names, I deeply apologize. I said this last time I talked about these people. He's a Russian oil billionaire with ties to organized crime and arms smuggling. Dasha's mother worked within the Russian government and is a molecular biologist named Yelena Zhukova. After Dasha's parents, Alexander and Yelena, divorced, she would go on to marry Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News. Okay, so those are Dasha's parents, right? Dasha is an art collector, a socialite. She is also a magazine editor for the magazine Garage magazine, and she was an editor for Pop magazine. She is also the owner of a major contemporary art museum in Moscow, Russia. She was involved in a massive controversy back in 2014 after she posed on like this art piece that was a sculpture of a black woman in a compromising position, and it was like, I guess, sculpted to be a chair. And on MLK Day back in 2014, she posted a photo of herself sitting on this chair. It was just not a good look at all, just really bad all around. Okay, follow me here. Dasha was married to a man named Roman Abramovich, and they have 2 children together. Roman Abramovich is one of Vladimir Putin's closest friends and advisors. He has been since before Putin was even given power. Roman is actually a huge reason as to why Putin was even handed so much power in the first place, because Roman had such a close relationship with Putin's predecessor, Boris Yeltsin. He personally recommended that Putin be put into power. He was one of the first people to recommend Putin be put into power over Russia, and he recommended this directly to his friend Boris Yeltsin. Next to Miriam Adelson, Roman Abramovich is one of the largest donors to the blue and white state. He is also one of the wealthiest citizens of as he has dual citizenship due to the law of return. He, like Miriam Adelson, fund the creation of settlements in occupied territories of Palestine. He owns shopping centers in the blue and white state. He funds hospitals in the blue and white state. And he also funds a lot of tech and energy startups within the blue and white state as well. Roman Abramovich's lore runs so deep with scandals, crime, international politics, international celebrities, international socialites. It's just really insane. He's just like one of those people who I've researched, and I'm just like, why are you the
That brings us to another major name, Donald Trump. According to an FBI report, Trump reportedly contacted a Florida police chief during the early 2000s to discuss Jeffrey Epstein. The document has attracted attention because of the statements it allegedly attributed to Trump concerning Epstein and the investigation into him.
A new document coming to light claims in the mid-2000s President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein. Among the 3 million Epstein files released by the Department of Justice last month is a 4-page FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with a man believed to be former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder and his detectives began investigating Epstein for human trafficking in 2004. According to the document, Trump called Ryder around that time and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Ryder also says Trump said he threw Epstein out of his club, and he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. The former police chief says Trump told him to focus on Epstein's associate Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is evil.
Did you have any suspicions that he was young women,
No, I had
underage
no
women?
idea. I had no idea.
Trump has long denied having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, but Ryder says Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were.
The report also reportedly described Epstein in extremely negative terms and referred to Maxwell as Epstein's operative. Trump has denied having knowledge of Epstein's crimes. Yet online speculation has attempted to connect Ellen to the same wider circle, despite the lack of verified evidence establishing such a connection. Meanwhile, Ellen and Portia de Rossi's plans for their Cotswolds property have faced a separate issue. Their reported £15 million farm recently encountered a planning setback involving a proposed horse riding arena. The couple reportedly bought the property in 2024 and invested millions into renovations. But because Ellen's name was already surrounded by online speculation, even this unrelated property story became another subject of conspiracy theories.
Generous, guys. Her Cotswold garden is set to be investigated. Interesting. Documents have confirmed the former US talk show host and her partner Portia de Rossi bought a farm. Why are you buying a farm? Kitesbridge Farm near Burford for $15 million in 2024. Planning documents published by West Oxfordshire District Council revealed they now have ambitions to make it their long-term home in their bid for new stables. Why did she buy this farm? If we look at the purchasing history of celebrities, it's none of our business, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, when we look at the P. Diddy trial, when we look at the Epstein files, a lot of the celebrities and what they do become our business because we are quite worried for what they contribute to society, let's just say. And Ellen DeGeneres buying a farm, last time I checked, she's not a farmer, so I don't understand why she's doing this. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Daily and consistent content. Completely forgot to do my introduction today, but they are now facing a potential opposition from the council as the proposal site lies in an area of Roman remains that it looks like Ellen would be basically ruining. Documents show the site was close to a Roman bridge, a Roman road, a Roman villa, and an associated bathhouse. Agents of Ellen said historic maps and aerial photographs suggest that the area of the proposed stable building has not seen previous developments as part of the farm, and so it is possible that these Roman remains can actually survive on the site. They added that the aim of the investigation is to establish the date, nature, and extent of past activity within the development are. It is also to recover sufficient material about what is present. So it looks like Ellen is causing some archaeological issues and they are therefore investigating her Cotswold garden to find out what can be built there, what can't be built there. But I think they need to be investigating other things in regards to her Cotswold home, her farm, and why there is such an interest to buy a property like this, or bought, to be honest with you, because this was in 2024. Why are you buying a farm? What are you doing at this farm? It's very eerily interesting that Epstein would be sitting there basically buying islands left and right and, ranches left and right. And I just feel like, why is Ellen buying this farm ranch?
So what do you think? Are these allegations based on something genuinely significant, or is the internet connected unrelated events into one massive theory? And could Ghislaine Maxwell still know information that hasn't become public? Let us know what you think in the comments below.